At the end, I can care for that if Dracula ordering a scotch at the bar and
Yeah,
picking up two women. And it's like, all right, I don't need all that.
yeah.
Vicky Van Helsing in here. We could do a part two, but I don't need the rest of this. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Minor League Films. So, got my guy Christian here with me. It's the 2-hour commitment himself. And we've decided to bring back the Daily Minor Show. Where dailies we talk news, movie things, whatever we want to talk about. This could go off the rails. I don't know. That will be on Christian. I'm a very disciplined person, so I will try to keep it on the rails, but we will see how that goes. Christian, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm a fairly organized person, for the people that are a little bit more disorganized, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited to be here, talk a little bit about some things that are coming out, some rumors that may be coming out, like American Psycho Reboot. We'll talk about that
Ooh.
later. But I mean, that's one of my favorite movies. I got a poster right up here of it, so I'm very curious about that. But happy to be here, happy to be on this show and talk a little bit more about these movies.
All right, so he will be here daily with me as we drop. We make it a pop in from Scotty sometime. Then it will really go off the rails if he shows up.
I watched the Watchers whole show. It was great.
What else? What else do you never know where it goes? But I will give the slate, and we'll get into it. Before I do that, make sure you hit the sub button, hit that like, all that. Hit notification bell. I've never said that. I don't even know if I have it on, so I need to turn that on. But hit that notification bell. You'll know we drop daily. We'll try to get this up every morning around maybe 10 a.m. or so. So we will see how that goes. But the slate I have, so we're going to talk some Heretic. I did see that. You will be seeing that. I guess this drops tomorrow. So you'll be seeing that Monday afternoon.
Yes,
So
I will be. I will be. I'm very excited about it. Hugh Grant, he looks like he's going to absolutely kill it.
He's fantastic. He's fantastic in there. So I will talk a little bit about it, but we'll talk about that. Avatar has some news. And I have something funny that I think is happening with that. But we will talk about that. We both have seen the Captain America Brave New World trailer. It's one of the most, I don't know, man. I'm getting that old Marvel feel back. I'm getting really excited for this. So
Yeah.
we can talk about that. And then you have two things. I'm going to screw this up. Nosferatu, you just
Come on, you can do it. Sound it out. Onyx.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Yeah, I'll take it.
Nosferatu. There we go. Nosferatu, and then American Psycho. So we went with those. But yeah, man. So let's jump into it. First thing I have on the slate is Heretic. So usually I do a weekend watch. If you want to catch our TikTok, it's Minor League Films. No, it's Corona Comics _MLF, which stands for Minor League Films on TikTok. And I will give you what we're watching on the weekend. So Heretic was what I would have had if I wasn't sick and was able to put it up. Was very looking forward to this. Like you said, Hugh Grant was in there. So I'm gonna give you the scores for that. So off this weekend, it's only Sunday now, but we have a 93% critic score and a 78% audience score for Rotten Tomatoes. So very good for that. Went in there. I saw it Thursday. No, I saw it Friday. Man, I thought it was really good. It's a very, how do I say this? It's like, basically, you got these two Mormon girls, and as we all seen the trailer, they go in there, and basically it turns into kind of a religious discussion on religion and certain things, and how each of them, they have their differences, but they're all kind of are the same, and it very dives into. Hugh Grant does a really good job of like how religions are marketed. Why should he join Mormonism versus something else? What's the differences? So it's a very psychological. It's not really horror of like, oh, you got to worry about not like jump scares or whatever. It's a very thinking person's horror movie where you're like, all right, like, and that's the thing too. And you like that, like Hugh Grant, he's in there, and we know this is a horror movie, so we know as soon as he walks in, we're like, okay, you gotta get out of there, whatever. But as he starts talking and he starts, kind of giving his point of view, it's like, this guy's winning me over. It gave me a very much like you vibe where it's a bad person, but at times he starts to win you over, and you're like, all right, I can see how I can get trapped in here. Like, he's very inviting. He's offering us, pie and things like that. So if I had to give it a score, and we don't do percentage scores on this channel, but I think it's a price of admission movie. I think if you you pay the full price, you walk out, you'll be like, all right, like that was a solid like 2 hours. It doesn't feel long. All the acting in it is really good. I like the characters, and Sophie Thatcher, and I forget the other girl's name in there. I'll check on that later. But those two are really good. Overall, I think the first probably 2/3 is like one of the better horror movies of the year. It's up there with the rest of them.
Really?
The close is okay. It's just it's not bad. There's nothing that it doesn't go off the rails or anything. It's just like when you're, eventually, they got to figure out, how to get out of here. So when we're getting the lead up, we're getting kind of the psychological battle of ideas. It's really, really good. And eventually you're like, okay, we got to live and try to get
Mhm.
up out of here. So
Yeah.
it becomes a little bit of a kind of more like adventure or like a mystery. I solved this to get to this and try
Mhm.
to get out of here. So I think it's really good. It's definitely a price admission movie for me. So we'll get your review when you come back and let us know about it. But I think it's very solid. And if I had to put a percentage score on it, I think it's probably about in the 80s, maybe 80. I say like 83, 84.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
a solid B movie. I really liked it. So definitely there. So check out Heretic. Let me know if you've seen it. Tag down in the comments. I will put a review up probably up tomorrow and try to get one in there and definitely go further into with my likes and dislikes. But I think it's really good. And then we'll get your views when you get back. But I mean, you have good reason to be excited for it. I think it's a very solid
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it because the trailer itself, I mean, I thought it was really good, and I'm glad you said it was more of a psychological kind of like scare movie, not too many jump scares. Because there's a
Yeah.
part in the trailer where he goes to go ahead and get the pie, and he comes back, and then they kind of look down, and the pie's not there, and it's just like, oh no, like this isn't probably gonna go the way it's gonna go. And then yeah, Hugh Grant's demeanor throughout the whole trailer, and also, let me know about it because I don't think it's a spoiler, but is the house like some sort of maze where they can't get out or they have to, like, choose different ways to get out and there's just a bunch of dead ends? Because that's kind of the vibe that I got. Is that accurate?
So how do I say this? So basically, the house, it's not like it the house in itself, it's very like set up in a way where once you get in there, like you really can't get out unless you go the way he wants you to go. It's not like a trap or like you have a trap door, you hit a button, not more like that. He just has it set up in the way where he's like, yeah, like you get in here, like, yeah, there's steel in the wall. Okay,
Mm,
well, now if you think about it, like, all right, that sounds fine. And you're like, oh shit, like I can't make, I can't
yeah.
call. But I will say this, the characters aren't dumb.
Okay,
They
good, good.
very much get in there and like any like logical move that they can make, you're like, okay, like, yeah, I'm doing other than like let's beat his ass because it's two girls. So
Yeah.
like if it's me or you in there, it's like, hey, if I'm stuck in here, I'm whooping your ass. But for them, it's like, all right, let's try this, let's try that. So they're not dumb. So they basically get stuck in it. It's like a way where it's like, okay, like I can help you get out, but you have to kind of run through the theory I'm trying to present. So it's very much one of those, but there is a little like kind of like I guess maze or a different aspect of the house, but it's not like a trap house. It's like, oh, go through this door and this is your way out. And it's like, oh, this is not just a clear way out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, because it
kind of like
reminded me
that.
of that one house that's in California. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the one that has just a bunch of different doors that don't go anywhere, or they just lead straight outside and like on a three-story house. But
Yeah.
it reminded me of that, and I find that very interesting.
Uh,
So the fact that they kinda tied that idea in there, not copy it, but the fact that they tied it in there, I think that's nice because the origin story of that is very creepy, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, my showing's at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and I'll probably have a review up by Tuesday afternoon, I would say, after work. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm very excited because I saw on IMDb as well, I got a 7.3. And
Yeah.
anything in the 7 realm on IMDb for a horror movie, like that's pretty dang good. So I'm glad to see it's getting good ratings and that they're consistent and not falling down too much because the first people to watch it usually like this is great, but the fact that we're going into the next week and it's still up there, yeah, very excited about it.
Yeah, well, we can definitely hit some spoiler discussion after you've seen it and have your review up, and we'll talk about that right here. We could do that,
Yeah.
and then do a clip out. All right, so that is Heretic. Make sure you check that out. Next thing I wanted to talk about is Avatar. So the new Avatar, which is called Fire and Ash, is debuting the end of 2025, I believe. I'll double check the date, but I think it's like November, December, something like that, 2025. But my question is this. So obviously we had our first movie, and Scotty and I did a long spoiler discussion on the second one, which we both were not big fans of. Now the first
Mm.
movie everybody likes. Then in the second movie, we go to water. This was called Fire and Ash. And I looked in here and they said there is a nomadic tribe that travels through the air is this going full Avatar, like Nickelodeon Avatar? Because Fire and Ash, Air Tribe, we've seen the Water Tribe, Earth People, the first movie. Where is this going?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer for it, but I mean, 1 and 2, Way of Water, and yeah, I kinda got the same idea because when I read the line Fire and Ash, I was like, "Is this the Nickelodeon Avatar, or are we talking about Avatar? Let me know." So, I mean, maybe they're running out of ideas because the second one, although a beautifully shot movie, it was good, it was just not for me, and I say that seeing it twice, but that's for a gift for my nephew, but I'm interested
Yeah,
to see what they're gonna go with it, with the Fire and Ash and this tribe that they're introducing, but I mean, it'll probably be visually a stunning movie as they usually are, but the
yeah.
storyline, I'm curious to see where they're gonna go with that because I mean, they got a lot to live up to.
Yeah, really liked the first one. Second one, seeing it in theater, it was beautiful. I had a lot of problems with that second one. Honestly, the villains were ridiculous. The way they just pulled them out their ass, basically. Didn't
They
like.
really did.
I really did not like that. And also, the second big thing is I feel like it's the same movie twice. I feel like what
Yeah,
they go through in the first half of the movie, they're like, okay, let's change, let's go across the world, and they kind of deal with the same thing. But like you said, it's a beautifully shot movie. I just thought it was funny of like this is going full Avatar: The Last Airbender at the point where in this one, if they start being able to control elements, I'm like, I seen that coming. So
that's gonna be the outtake, the very end. Just gonna be looking at the water, and it's gonna move, and it's gonna be like, "Movie over," like, "Okay, I think I know where we're going."
so definitely that's going in there. So yeah. Well, next thing I wanted to get into is Captain America New World. What was it New World Order? No, Brave New World. New World Order
Brave
was the
New World.
old one, which I thought I was like, that's a badass name for a movie, but they changed it
Yeah,
to Brave New World, which I didn't like as much. But that second trailer dropped in. Honestly, I probably should have did a trailer review because I seen it, and honestly, I don't watch second trailers because a lot of times that's the movie. Like it'd be like, all right, well,
yeah,
nothing else to expect there. But it caught me on Twitter, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this trailer out. It looks bad. As this is one of the Marvel, this is like old Marvel, man, where I'm really looking, I'm really hyped up now. They do come with their Iron Man 2s where you'll get a really good trailer and then
yeah,
you'll get in there like, the hell was that? Or Iron Man 3, which did the same thing. But
yeah,
yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So you've seen the trailer. What do you think about this Captain America movie? What are you looking forward to? Go ahead and let me know.
yeah. I've seen both trailers, and I watched the second one prior to coming on here. I don't know if it's the official second one, but it looks pretty damn hype. Where it's like, you may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
And it just goes into the scenes and the battle scenes. They look great. I've seen some criticisms on the Red Hulk and his whole look. I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind it at all, when it comes down to how he looks. It's just I'm there for the entertainment. I know it's a movie. I know it's not real. I can immerse myself. I can suspend my disbelief and get into it, but the overall vibe of the movie seems a lot more intense, and I'm really looking forward to that,
Yeah.
and I haven't felt this excited for a while. I was excited for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but that I don't even wanna talk
See,
about it.
I'm
But
I'm one of those people who I liked Multiverse of Madness. Now I don't like the fact that Wanda just goes to the other universe and just massacres them in like 5 minutes. That
yeah,
I don't like. But the fact
no
that
respect.
there's horror, yeah, the fact that there's horror aspects, the way it's shot, following these two, like I think it's one of the more underrated Marvel movies that people don't like.
Mm.
But I'm like, okay, like that wasn't bad compared to like I said, Thor 2 or Iron Man 3. Those like they're like I think it's a lot better than those.
Yeah, because I definitely because Marvel's been kinda pushing, like, the kinda humor kinda thing, like in Love and Thunder, it was just
Yeah,
so much, but I didn't get a hint of that until you just actually we just started talking about it. I didn't get any hints of anything funny going on in this movie, and then that's what I love,
yeah.
that seriousness, and I think if we get back to that old kind of, like, dark not dark, but more intense, like
Feel
Guardians
real
of the
world.
Galaxy, where they absolutely get rocked in the very beginning, it's like, I'm not messing with that guy. I haven't seen any Marvel characters get rocked like that, and I really like that about Guardians, so hopefully they keep going with that trend in, Brave New World.
Yeah, you like where there's stakes, and I might
Yeah.
do and maybe you could join if you want to. I might do a Marvel video. We usually do when we see movies of like, especially when we don't like them, of like how we would have fixed this. We did one with
Mm.
Five Nights at Freddy's, where like if we had to make changes, what would it be? And when I went to see, I saw Thor. I said four. I saw Thor 4 with my mom, and went to see it, and thought like this has all the elements to be a great movie, but it's
Mhm.
so undercut with this comedy where it's like Jane has cancer, very emotional thing you got going on.
Yeah.
You got this villain with like a dark backstory of like he's killing these gods, but he has a very valid reason why he's doing it.
He does.
And also, you see him kill. If you see him killing the gods, it just builds up a threat where it's like, well, how is Thor going to handle this? They just
Yeah.
cut out all of that for the sake of comedy, and it's like you had a great movie there, and we said it with Ant-Man 2 of like there was elements there to make it like well more grounded, but instead of it's like a fantasy world where nothing bad happens here, or if it does, we don't see it and we're fine. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely a discussion probably we should have. Maybe we'll do it on one of the shows. But yeah, like you said, this is way more serious. It feels like there's stakes, and there's very easy ways to put comedy in anything. You can, have a break, have a good moment, have a funny moment, in there. So, but I'm definitely looking forward. Like I said, this is one of I've been more excited. Actually, I get all along. I really liked
Did
Marvel's
you watch
doing some.
that?
Yeah, I did. A lot of people kind of stayed away from it, but it is a very solid show. I'd
Okay.
recommend anybody watch it. For us, it'd be a price of admission show. I'd probably put it about an 8 out of 10
Mhm.
for if I had to score it like that. But yeah, so I think that's really good. So I think Marvel, they do this right. They also have Thunderbolts coming up. So we will see. But I think with some stakes here, they can get back to where they once were because we know they fell off, but I think after I watched stuff, I'm like, it's not that bad. We're in an okay spot. If they can
Yeah.
get back to some more serious stuff, we'll be okay.
Yeah, agreed, agreed. I mean, they have the fuel, they have it in the reserves to come back and do something great, I think. And hopefully this is well, they're already in that right direction. Like they have the idea, it's just about execution now at this point, which is a good thing. So although
Yeah.
Marvel, haven't been too excited, this one I'm excited, and yeah, I'm always gonna watch a Marvel movie in theaters. Like there's no doubt about it. I don't care how bad it might be. Like Madam Web, I didn't care how bad it might be. It was pretty bad, but it was a decent movie, I will say. I might get my throat cut for that one, but
You
I didn't
by
hate
me
it. I was just
after the show.
yeah, but it was just like I walked out, like, I wasn't upset, but, I think they're on the right track for sure. So hopefully they can make a comeback.
At worst, it was entertaining. I would say that. I was not bored.
It was.
It was very fun to talk about. So you saw me and Tristan go on like a 30-minute rant. So we did
Yeah,
have a good time. Okay, so you have the next two up, Nosferatu. I think I found Nosferatu and American
yeah.
Psycho. So what are you looking forward to, man? What's on your mind?
So, Nosferatu, man, the reason I'm excited for that one was because of my initial reaction when I saw the trailer. 'Cause, have you seen the trailer yet?
I have not actually. Actually, I can pause this and watch it, and then let you talk about it. So let's do that. I'll play the clip here, and I'll pause it, and we'll be right back.
We are here encountering the vampire. Nosferatu.
All right, we're back. I just seen the trailer, got that done. So now I'm a little bit excited. Well, Christian, let me not take your thunder. Go ahead. Let me know what's going on.
Yeah, man. So, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Nosferatu, it hasn't had a remake. The original one came out way long ago, like 20s, 30s of the
Mhm.
1900s, and it hasn't had a remake. And it's directed by Robert Eggers as well. If you're not familiar, he did The Lighthouse, The Northman, and The Witch. So, I mean, those movies, I mean, definitely solids in my book. And if you watch the trailer, what I really enjoy, and you had just mentioned this about movies that are placed in like the Western Europe kind of vibe where things are dark, kind of grimy, and really gothic. I really like that a lot. And I had mentioned when I saw the trailer and I was hoping, I was just like, there's no way they're going to do it. And then you see that still, him standing there just in the darkness, and Willem Dafoe, of course, he's in it. And you're just like, hell yes. So we got Bill Skarsgård in there, Nicholas Holt in there. I mean, those guys alone is a
Yeah.
reason enough for me to watch it. So, I mean, definitely check out the trailer if you haven't. I think it comes out on Christmas Day,
Mhm.
actually. So that's very interesting. It's going to be competing with some people in another arena, definitely. But it comes out soon. I'm looking forward to it. I remember seeing the trailer in February for the most part, I think is when it came out. And it's something that just hasn't left my mind. And I usually don't watch trailers all that often or don't pay attention to it, but it definitely grabs you. And you might have seen it without even knowing that you saw it, actually, because it doesn't
Yeah.
really give what it's about until the very ending. It's more kind of like, okay, another horror movie, whatever. I'm going to look at my phone for a little bit. But if you watch it, it'll definitely pique your interest, I think. And I'm very, very excited about it.
Yeah, that's me. Once I watched it, I was like, okay, I see it. I've been in theaters and this is playing. I was like, oh, William Dafoe. And click, click,
Another
click.
one.
So, most there, but I'm with you. It looks good. I got a lot of hate from Scotty because I recently redid my not redid but re-released my review for it's the Dracula movie on the boat.
The Last Demeter.
Yeah, the last voyage of the Demeter. So, and I actually, I guess if you read the book, it was very disappointing because the movie is not a Dracula movie. It's very much like the crew about them and how they're dealing with this circumstance. And I liked a lot of pieces of that, but people who expected Dracula in the book, he's barely in it, or if he is.
Yeah.
But one thing I like about that movie is there are consequences. Like there's a kid, and he's like, "Well, no one's safe." So once a kid gets it, okay, all right, it's really up. It's up for anybody in this movie. But I did like that, though a lot of people did not. So I will keep my opinion to myself. But
I liked it a lot, actually. The very ending, the way it ended, a lot of people didn't like that, but I honestly kind of did. I was like, it's kind of like an origin story, and like you had mentioned, there's consequences of what these people are doing, and I enjoyed it a lot. When I saw the hate, I was surprised, and I was just like, "Is something wrong with me?"
Yeah,
I was like, "No, I don't care."
It's one of those expectation movies where people go in expecting something, and if they don't get what they and I talked to Scotty about this a lot because Scotty's a big comics guy. So like Marvel released these movies and they'll put these villains in there, and he'll come up like, I know this villain, I know he's done, I've read his comics, and I know him. And then when they change it around, it's like, okay, that's not who I know. So if you read the book, you're like, well, that's not the Dracula I know of.
Yeah.
But me seeing through a different lens, where like I'm blind to all this and I'm just jumping in this world. I'm like, okay, I love this crew. I love the fact they're trying to figure it out. I think maybe the one problem I have with that movie is when danger starts to happen and the crew people don't want to quite admit like there's something bad going on here until it's like, okay, now we have no choice. So that's maybe the one thing. But I like the end. I can care for that if Dracula ordering a scotch at the bar and picking up two women. And it's like, all right, I don't need all that. Vicky Van Helsing in here, we could do a part 2, but I don't need the rest of this. But yeah, so but that looks good. It looks well shot, like you said, star-studded cast. Honestly, I'm excited for it now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
No, most definitely. Okay, and you got American Psycho, which I will admit before this, that's one of the legendary movies I have not seen. I know what it's about. I've seen plenty clips and all that. I have not watched American Psycho. So I will let you go for it and criticize me if need be. There's a reboot going on. Sell me on it.
Yeah, so I don't know if I can sell you on it actually, because just like you said, one of those movies has expectations. I have expectations. It's one of my favorite movies, and I've even read the book as well, trying to find answers for it. Because if you haven't seen it, he's a killer guy. The ending is kind of open-ended. What did I just watch? Does anything get resolved? Nothing really. It's just one of those cult classic movies, that I really enjoy, can quote it all day. I mean, Christian Bale, Jared Leto gets beat up like he does in almost every movie, it seems like. Like Requiem for a Dream, Fight Club, American Psycho, just always absolutely gets it. But I'm curious on what they're trying to do with this movie, and I wonder if they're going to keep it closer to the book, because the book is actually, or the movie is very different from the actual novel. I mean, some of the characters in there, they don't even have the same name. Patrick Bateman even has a family, a sister who he interacts with. They show none of that in the movie. So I'm really curious if they're just looking for more of the shock factor and trying to get people to kind of be uncomfortable. And I don't know if we need it actually, because in the movie he's a vicious, brutal guy, right? I mean, murdering people with an axe, dropping a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Brutal guy, but in the book he's actually even worse. And I'll give you one example on how he's worse, because he's just mentally a vicious guy. So there's a child in the zoo. Child falls down, he's dying, and he says, "Everyone back away. I'm a doctor." He's not a doctor. He just wants to sit there and watch the kid die and guarantee no one else steps in to help because the doctor is helping.
Mm,
So like he's just like that brutal and vicious of a guy. I keep saying brutal and vicious because those are the words that I wholeheartedly believe in. But I'm excited about it. I would like to see a reboot, but I'm going to be very critical of it, but try to go in with it with an open mind. But again, I wonder if they're trying to get closer to the actual book
yeah.
and try to make him more of a person as opposed to what he was in the one that was released, where he's just a guy that cares about his image but also hates women in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if they go a little bit more in depth with this character and try to make him more of a person and ultimately make it a little bit more uneasy or uncomfortable for people. So I don't know if that would sway you. You should definitely watch American Psycho when you
Yeah.
have a moment. It's not a very long movie, but if it is true and they do go through with it, that's definitely something that's going to be on my radar for quite a while.
Yeah, it's been on my list for a while. I just like never took the time out to see it because my list is at this point. We review movies every week, and my list is like
Yeah.
100 movies. So, but no, I definitely will watch that one. I will look out for this one. So let me ask. So this is theoretical. I can't even say it. Theater release. I'll say that. Who is tied to it? Is there a good director or there's an actor you're looking forward to? Like who's surrounding this movie?
Yeah, actually. So they haven't announced who's going to be the cast or who's going to be in the cast, but the director's name is someone who I think you're going to be very excited about. I'm going to butcher the last name, but it's Luca Guadagnino. I don't know. But what I do know is that he directed Challengers, which was a good movie. Liked it a lot. Call Me by Your Name, Suspiria. If you haven't seen Suspiria, it's on Amazon Prime. The oddest, most intriguing movie that you will see, and also Bones and All with Timothy Chalamet, where he eats people. He's a cannibal.
Yeah,
So a lot of notable movies from this director, and for American Psycho to get a director of that caliber and with that much success, as of recent success, not even just back in the day he was good, he's good now.
yeah.
So that director, I'm very excited to see what he's going to do with it. And I was able to confirm that it is going to be closer to the actual book. So
Okay.
that'll be interesting. And in case you're wondering, if you, for any of you guys that have seen the movie and don't know what the hell happened at the end of it and what you just watched, the book gives no answers. If anything, it's more confusing. So it's just meant to be one of those types of movies and books. So we'll see where this one goes.
Okay. American Psycho. And that's 20, is it 2025? We'll see that or 2026?
As of right now, there's no release date. He's just confirmed
Okay.
as the director.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Give some to look forward to. A review down the line. Oh man,
Hopefully, it's
well.
not coming out in 2027 because why even tell us about it now? You know?
Let's do that. I remember, I remember waiting for movies for so long, especially like back in the day. Scotty and I talked about one time. We're like superhero movies. We used to just get one every blue moon, so it was like a long wait. And then I
Yep.
remember like when Black Panther came out and it shows a trailer. They're like releasing in 2 years. Like God
Yeah.
dang it!
It's like, don't even tell me about it. Keep it to yourself.
give me a trailer and say next year, and I can live with that.
Yep.
But well, American Psycho, definitely be on the lookout for that. Watch the original if you haven't. That's all I got on the log for today. Christian, anything you want to touch on before we get out of here?
Nothing much. I mean, a time slot just opened up for me, so I may or may not go watch Heretic tonight at 7 o'clock. That gives me about 24 minutes to decide.
Well,
But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Do I want to get home at 9:30? I don't know, but definitely I'll watch it by tomorrow. So I'm excited about it.
Let's give you the option. It does have about 20 minutes of trailer, so that gives you a little extra boost there. But Christian, Mr. 2-Hour Commitment, will be joining me every day. This is a daily reminder show, so every morning we will have things to talk about, movie news. We may go anywhere we want to, but definitely a lot happens in the movie industry, so that's why I chose it, because it gives us plenty to talk about. So definitely will do that. Christian, let people know if they want to find you on the daily. You have a lot of short form content going around. Where can they do that at?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram under 2-Hour Commitment. The number 2 is the number 2, followed by Hour Commitment. Again, I try to keep things sweet. I don't spend a lot of time talking about directors, what it's about. I give you the nitty gritty. If it's good or not, is it going to be a waste of money within the first 10 seconds? That's my average watch time. So, I mean, people I give them what they want. But yeah, you can find me there. I post a couple times a week, usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for the most part. And yeah, just watching the latest movie releases and sometimes some A24 movies that are streaming to give you something where you don't have to spend any technical money since we pay for streaming services. But yeah, go ahead and give me a follow, please. Comment on my stuff. Disagree with me. I love debates. Nobody's wrong is what I like to think. So.
Now the other person is always wrong, and yeah, make sure to give them a follow on there if you want to catch our stuff. We are Minor League Films here, Minor League Films on Instagram. Definitely there on TikTok is Corono Comics _ Minor League Films. I will put it in the attachments below so you can find it there, and I'll put Christian stuff below so you can find him and make it easy for you. Yet again, give this video a like, a sub. We'll be back every morning during the weekday to talk some stuff and some impromptu times. If things drop or movies or whatever, if you'd like to join us, we'll love to have them on here. So we'll do that. We'll see you basically tomorrow, as we'll be back again. So we'll do that. Appreciate Christian joining us. Everybody have a good day. Hit that sub button. We're out of here. We will catch you next time.